Hello and welcome.
Howdy,
everyone.
howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Tuesday Weekly Dev Stream. Hurdy birdie
Yeah.
birdie. My name's
Actually,
Snoop.
our second stream of the day. We've been really busy.
Wait, second stream of the day?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, the people who were here before saw our first stream.
I was like, what did you do this morning, Jace? Did you stream on our
Ooh,
Coffee
woo,
Stain channel?
ooh, woo, sneaky stream.
Sneaky stream. Yeah, look, I went live and I was like, wait, I need to change this one thing. And I didn't want to do it while we were live, so
Yeah.
you have to deal with it.
We're just pumping up those numbers. Now we can go to Stefan and be like, actually, we streamed twice on Tuesdays. Please.
Double
raise,
my
please, thank
salary,
you.
please.
Double my salary.
Yeah.
Double the streams, double the salary.
Anyways, welcome everybody to the weekly dev stream where we hang out and we talk about, well, not too much at the moment because we don't have too much to talk about. Update 8 wise at least. Like there's stuff to talk about regardless. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome.
Welcome. Simrian, you're on thin ice, buddy. All right. I already threatened to ban you before, buddy. Now this 2 times 0 equals 0 situation. Hello.
This is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
Yeah,
You're on
dangerous.
thin ice, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, true. Not a lot to talk about recently, which has been a bit of a bummer. But you know, we will eventually, and maybe sooner rather than later.
Yes. Pretty cool. But we can still talk a little bit about like, sort of give a, I'm going to switch over to Theta Dev here. We can sort of give a quick, like, just recap if people are new here, haven't been here on the previous streams, don't know what the hell's going on. Usually on these streams we do like a little bit of a state of dev and we mention like sort of what we're working on. We've been kind of secret because we've been working on a couple of things. We're working on 2 things in tandem. We're working on the final release of the game, 1.0, all the content that is going to go into there. Like this is when we've said that like all the updates up since like 6, I believe, or 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Since 6, I think.
Yeah, we sort of split development into 2 branches where one half of the company sort of, it's not really true, but it's like that's what the way the branches look at least. Is like half of the people are working on content that's going into 1.0 that we want to keep secret until 1.0 and all that jazz. And then there's the people that have been working on the stuff that you've seen so far, which is like update 6, 7, and 8. Update 8 you haven't seen too much of because we haven't shown too much of it yet. We're gonna start,
or anything really.
Yeah, really. But we're gonna start doing that soon-ish, I think. And well, famous last words, and then we get delayed or whatever.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, so we're working on 2 different branches essentially, and during these streams, we've essentially gone and been like, yep, we don't have too much to say other than update 8 is coming sometime this like sometime our lifetime, hopefully.
Yep.
We don't have any dates we can give. We don't have any information yet as to what's in them. But what we can say is that we're going to do a similar thing we did, you know, the previous updates where before we actually release it, we're going to talk about what's in it and bring you guys along for the ride, essentially, and give you as much information as possible. And then we release it on experimental, and then it's out for experimental for a while, and then it's out on early access after we've done some bug fixing and getting some feedback on it and stuff like that.
Yep. Pretty much what he said.
Yeah. So that's essentially what we're working on. We're working on update 8 and we're working on 1.0.
Yep.
And
But people who have been around for a while will know that like we plan out like a bunch of like teaser content leading into the update. We just don't want to do that too soon if we don't have things to show, or if we're just going to run out of content later, or if we're not really secure in like approximately when the update will drop, which is why there's this awkward like empty space. But yeah, I mean, I think it's okay that we sort of just revel in the empty space for a little while, and then we'll have our fun periods again soon. So
yeah,
hopefully fairly soon.
Yeah, and I know that people also ask like why do you stream if you don't have anything, if any new information to give? And I think there's a couple of reasons for it, but I think it's mainly that we want to show you guys that we're still alive, we're still doing stuff. Because if we just go radio silent, I think that also can be a little bit like, what's actually going on? Like, you know, we're still here, and we get to hang out a little bit, and
we can maintain like a bit of a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, right? Like we're all people here. It's fun to hang out and see we don't get to see you guys' faces, but like I get to see like names that I recognize, and it's nice to hear you here again,
Yeah.
or see you here again, and I'm sure you guys appreciate it as well. If you only want news, then sorry, but
You know, we're a community. We gotta hang out.
yeah, exactly.
We don't
And
wanna be
actually,
strangers.
it's a decent segue into our next agenda point, because last week I made a video on the corporate structure of Coffee Stain,
Yes.
which is bananas. That I would make that video for starters, but also at a time where people are, most hyped and anticipating the next update for Satisfactory, and I'm like, no way, actually,
Let's talk business.
Let's talk business. Let's talk about corporate structure. Actually,
Yeah.
I was really nervous about making that video, but I was like, no, we don't have anything else to talk about right now, so I could say nothing, or we could have, try shed some light on something that's actually a little bit confusing. And turns out, like, the response,
It's been pretty
from
great.
y'all have been insanely good. Like, you guys don't see like dislike ratios and stuff anymore, but it's like less than 1% dislikes, which is like, one, I thought they would be. I don't really care about like dislike that much. It's just surprising. That's what I'm saying, right? It doesn't really matter one way or another, but it's just surprising. Like, I thought, one, making a video about corporate structure wouldn't be interesting at all, and people probably would be like, well, whatever. But then at this time where people want information more than anything about Update 8, like even more so, but actually it seems like maybe I did a pretty good job, but also you guys were like, we must have hit like a bit of a nerve there, because like, yeah, it must have been confusing about the Coffee Stain thing if so many people found it to be useful and yeah, informative. So I looked so nervous. I was a little nervous. There's other factors that made me look a little nervous.
Yeah, because there's more than just us on online, but like we're like when we're sort of here and we're talking about our game Satisfactory, we're also sort of not representing, but like we are, there's a lot of games under the Coffee Stain umbrella that are sort of not affected, but like you see us in the light of those games as well, sort of. So like people know of Valheim being published by Coffee Stain Publishing. They know like how we are, and like then they also like sort of make the connection between, okay, Coffee Stain, Student J's, Valheim, like all these like different connections as well. So like we're sort of, even though we're technically not a big family because like we don't have anything to do with Valheim, like people still sort of make the connection and connect the dots and that stuff. And ask us about stuff from those games that we don't know. But yeah, I have a quick snap from the video, which is here it is, the big old the what do you call it? The tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
The corporate structure.
The corporate structure, essentially. So here's the TLDR. For those of you who haven't watched the video, you should watch the video though, because there's more info there. But essentially, Coffee Stain, when we talk about Coffee Stain, usually what we're talking about is Coffee Stain Holding, which is like the group of companies within Coffee Stain. Can you see the mouse on screen? I don't think you can.
I'm not sure.
Oh, damn it. Whatever.
I don't see the mouse. Yeah.
And we're in the leftmost corner there, Coffee Stain Studios. I almost, in the tweet today, what was the tweet? It's like, let's talk about what's going on at the studio. I almost wrote studios just because it's funny.
Yeah.
Because we're called Coffee Stain Studios, but we're just one studio.
Even though there were so many Coffee Stain studios.
Yeah.
That's what's so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is confusing.
Yeah. So that was interesting to cover. So like there is Coffee Stain Holding, which is the whole group of Coffee Stain Studios, right? But then there is our studio, which is called Coffee Stain Studios.
Yeah.
Which is only one studio. But then there are other studios called Coffee Stain North, Coffee Stain Publishing, Lava Potion, Easy Trigger Games, Box Dragon, Coffee Stain Gothenburg, and Coffee Stain Malmö. So like, and these are all like individual studios that kind of just do their own thing.
Yeah, I guess apart from like all of these studios are also, by the way, making their own games, except for publishing, which is like publishing is publishing. So like, and we're all completely like independent from one another. So like, there's no, we don't really work on any other of the game like that any other studios are working on. and we don't really have any real input. Sometimes, I know we get this question sometimes, but like sometimes we'll talk to the other people at the studios if we run into like an issue, or if there's something that we're looking into that we want feedback on in terms of like development. But for the most part, like also all games are made in like different engines. Goat Sim is made in Unreal Engine, so we actually have had some collaboration on some of the code.
I think didn't we get the Ragdoll code, multiplayer Ragdoll?
Did we get the? I don't know about that. I know that there's some of the simulation, vehicle simulation implementation is from Goat Sim.
Okay.
No, okay. Vehicle simulation. When I say that, by the way, I don't mean the actual like physics. I mean the network simulation. Because when we got fucking off a tangent here, but I just want to clear this up because it got confusing last time. So, like when you do multiplayer, right? There's one. Usually the way you do it is like you have a server who tells all the clients like this is what's happening. Do this. But for the most part, when you have physics involved, it's not fast enough for a server to tell like, by the way, you're bouncing in this manner. So what you usually do is you have on client, you're simulating what you think will happen on server locally. And then you get info from the server and they're like, no, this actually happened. And then you sync up essentially. So for the longest time, vehicles and Satisfactory were completely driven from the server. So server would tell the client like, hey, you're driving here. And you get like this weird thing where you're like bouncing around if you lag or if anything happens. So the solution we got from Goat Sim is, so now we're simulating on client when you're driving, like this is the physics that's happening. And then we sync up with the server and try to like fix it if something's wrong.
Yeah.
But now it feels a lot better than it used to.
That's the same kind of coded approach that we took for Ragdolls for the Body as well.
Yeah.
Because I know that like, and I don't know if it's the exact same code anymore, but like when I was programming on the game, our Ragdolls were crappy across multiplayer, and I remember that we asked them like, how do you, because they started doing multiplayer, online multiplayer with Goat Simulator, which wasn't in the original Goat Simulator. So we asked them like, hey, how do you do it? And they just gave us their code and we just like put it in. So yeah, I don't know if that's been touched ever since. It's possible, but yeah.
I don't know if we had, because there's a couple of places in
I don't
the
see
code.
why it would have.
Yeah.
It works well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, like that's one case. Like when it comes to like, Valheim, which is made in Unity, we can't really share code there because it's two different code bases, or like there's not even the same language. Yeah, so that's essentially it.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of different games, and if you check out that video, I put it in the chat, I'll put it in there again. There's a little bit of information about the other games that are made by other studios that are affiliated with Coffee Stain, and there's also a buttload of links in the description. So if you want to find more information about Valheim or more about Midnight Ghost Hunt or something, like all those links to like their socials are right there. So you can just go to that video, don't even watch the video, check the description, and you'll just find a bunch of helpful stuff. So yeah.
Go play a better game. Play Deep Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep Rock is made as Unreal Engine too. Yeah.
No link to Final Fantasy. True.
Oh, yeah. We need to buy Square Enix.
Yeah.
Embracer, get on it.
Wait, wasn't there like an announcement? Wait, no, I can't remember. Wasn't there something weird? Does anyone know about this?
Was there something Embracer with
like last year or something? I thought. Anyway, maybe I'm misremembering. My brain is telling me there's a connection there from like last year, but I don't know. You guys let me know if I'm remembering something or not.
Yeah.
Right. You guys will know.
Thanks, Nerd. Great video. You got it.
Crystal Dynamics is what I'm probably what I'm thinking of.
What is that?
Maybe it was something like that. It was something.
But what is it?
Crystal Dynamics is a studio.
Oh, okay.
And Embracer bought them or something. Something to do with.
But did they work on Final Fantasy or?
No. Well, no. They did. I think they did Tomb Raider, which was then tied to Square Enix, which is where my brain got the connection.
Gotcha.
I think. Yeah. Someone asking about my Lizard Doggo. It's right there. You just can't see it. It's fine.
Prove it. No. So yeah, check out the video essentially if you want to know more about the corporate structure. As to like why is it so confusing? I think the reason why it is confusing is because Coffee Stain has grown a lot, like the last couple of years. And I don't think that like when the founders came together, they didn't have like this vision of like, okay, we're gonna become this huge fucking, we're gonna have.
They were just 9 students. They
Yeah.
just made the studio out of university. That was it.
Yeah,
There was no grand plan.
yeah, and then
Obviously.
and then one decision after another led to
Yeah.
the situation we have here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I think the first game that we published, and it was actually, I believe it was actually published by Coffee Stain Studios, not Coffee Stain Publishing.
Mhm.
Was a story about my uncle, which was made by Gone North Games, which is now Coffee Stain North. And then it was after that went, I guess, well or something, that I think the publishing division was sort of made up so that we could then like continue doing publishing stuff. That's how that sort of, so like it was just a series of like small steps that got us to where we are. And then we ended up with this weird situation where Coffee Stain Studios was our studio only, but that a parent company was made and didn't take that name, and now it's just strange.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Someone asking, are your socials monetized? And do you guys earn the majority of revenue? If so, our socials are not monetized. We don't do any monetization with our socials.
Wait, can you monetize
been-
socials? Like,
Well, apparently you can get paid for ads on Twitter. But also, I mean, if we talk about here, Twitch, we don't monetize this. We don't monetize our YouTube.
No.
The biggest reason for it is that we just don't really want it to influence the content. And if we can avoid ads and things like that where possible,
yeah,
then we can do that.
there's a couple of reasons, but it's like I also personally think it's really valuable to not have like the extra added. Like if you click on a YouTube video to watch like information about a game, it's nice to not get that like extra ad thing on top of that, because it just bloats the and for us it's not the main income for us, so like why have it essentially?
Yeah, exactly. Our goal is, well, our goal, Snute and I's goal is not to make you buy the game. Our goal is just to take care of you guys. that's our job. But like I guess if you're gonna pay us for anything, it's like the game that we make, right? So,
Cool. Do you have anything else you want to end on the note of the corporate structure video thingy?
No, it was that, you know what? It was actually a fun video to make. As dry as that topic is, I think I'm actually proud of myself with that video. I think I made it entertaining and good. So it was actually really fun to make. I'm really surprised that it was fun to make. And I'm glad everyone liked it. So thank you very much for checking out the video, everyone. It performed fairly well. The comments were really nice. Thank you.
I'm even getting it recommended in my YouTube feed.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
More of Jay's face.
Yeah. No, but it's I also feel like it's a video that is kind of good to have, because there's a lot of, like, partly also because I get so many DMs from people asking us about like Goat Sim or any of the other games, and it's always like, it sucks that we have to like be like, oh, I don't know, like I can't help you. You should probably talk to the ones, like, it sucks that people can't, like, that is difficult for people to navigate towards, like, where should you go if you have issues with Goat Sim on mobile or whatever, where should you go? And like, we don't always know the answer, but like just asking any studio is kind of like, it's tricky.
Yeah, I've had some people. I actually literally in the starting soon screen, I checked my LinkedIn. I had a message from someone asking to collaborate with Goat Simulator 3.
Hell yeah.
And then it's like, or can you put me in touch with someone who can help? And that's it's a completely fair question to ask, assuming that we sort of collaborate with people. It's like, not really. I can't really. I don't know who to put you in touch with. Go and slide into their DMs on Twitter or something. Like, that's literally it. Or like on LinkedIn, look for people who work for Coffee Stain North, the actual company who make it. Like I really can't help because I don't know who to put them in touch with.
Yeah, it's hard because like there's, from our point, it's like, why don't you research if you're gonna like, if you want to collaborate with the creators of Goat Sim, why not research and like find a fair at the studio? But at the same time, we haven't made it easy for people either.
No, exactly. So it is give and take. Like, there are many people who accurately research. The information is out there, and when they want to collaborate, they can find that information. There's an overwhelming number of people who do find that information. Having said that, though, we can't really fault those who don't find it. Because it is not a clean situation.
Yeah.
So.
One funny
They
thing.
not have community managers either. They do. They all do.
Yeah.
They all have socials. They all have people working there. They have contact emails. They have everything. Yeah.
It's just hard to find them because you just see Coffee Stain when you boot up the game.
It's not even that hard to find them. You just need to search for the right one. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just hey, whatever. It's confusing. It is what it is.
But it's like you also have to know that, like, because when you boot up, I think that's the case for at least Deep Rock. It's like when you boot up the game, it just says Coffee Stain, and then it says I almost said Deep Silver, but that's not the name of the studio. It's fuck, I always forget the name of the studio for
Which game?
Deep Rock.
Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship, yeah. Like, you just see, like, the first thing you see is the Coffee Stain. You go, oh, I'm just gonna Google Coffee Stain, and then you Google Coffee Stain, you get like, oh, Deep Rock. Okay, cool. Then those are the people I should email, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know that, like, oh, but there might be what did they mean? What does the titles mean? I guess.
One thing that actually, just a quick pause on the QA section. One thing about the QA site, I just want to say is that that's not something that has been forgotten. There's just like some work that needs to be done on it, and like that ball is still rolling. I just want to throw that out there real quick. It would have been good to say that instead of dev, but not really too much to mention. Just
I can roll back too if you just say it again. Say it now. We haven't forgot the QA site. We're gonna.
We haven't forgot about it.
Yeah. All right, back to the game.
All right.